What does your child need to know to be ready for kindergarten? Well, stay tuned to this video and hear the 5 simple tips for helping your child succeed in kindergarten when that school bell rings this fall. Hi everybody, I'm BJ Muir here with Little Rooted Minds, and today we're talking about 5 simple tips you can use to help your child get ready to be a success in kindergarten. Now in our last video, we talked about the first 2 tips for making sure your child's ready for kindergarten. And those were working on social emotional skills and ensuring that your child has those basic independent self-help skills in place. Now if you want to review that material or if you just missed it, you can click on the link in the description down below. But here in this video, we're going to focus on tips number 3, 4, and 5 right now. Now as we get started here, please make sure that you subscribe to this channel and like this video if you have a child who's headed off to kindergarten soon. Also, you can follow Little Rooted Minds on all of our social media accounts, and you can also follow me at William B.J. Muir. And remember to watch through to the end of the video for the bonus tip. Now if your child is having any physical difficulties completing those basic self-help skills that we mentioned in the last video, it may be that you actually need to focus more on this tip than the previous one. And this tip is tip number 3, refining your child's fine and gross motor skills. Now, the wonderful thing about completing this tip is there's only one thing you need to really do, and that's make sure your child gets time to play, play, play. Developing basic fine motor skills like pencil grip, coloring, scissor skills, all comes with doing lots of fun tasks that'll develop your child's hands. You know, making pizza dough, or playing with Play-Doh, or coloring pictures, or playing with puzzles, cutting out pictures with scissors, lacing cards, stacking up blocks and stacking pegs. All of this are great fun ways and playful ways to develop these important fine motor skills. Now one quick tip before we move on from fine motor skills. You might have noticed the scissors, the pencils, the crayons, all those types of things in that video were kid size, small size. Some people see in the stores these bulky, chunky crayons and pencils that are really big for little kids, but they aren't typically helpful for most children. Most children at this age really do work a lot better and develop their fine motor skills a lot more when you shrink the size of the equipment they use. So be it small golf pencils with little erasers on the backs, or those flip crayons that really provide a nice workout for your fingers as you have to turn them back and forth and they're just the right size, or even those scissors which had a nice lever on them that force them open as your child cuts if your child has problems with that, or you can turn that lever off and they just simply work like regular scissors. We'll have links in the description down below for all of those products. Now when it's time to develop those gross motor skills, it's time to get outside and play. Skipping, running, jumping, climbing, crawling, all that and more can happen almost anywhere, in your backyard or on the playground, or even when you're just running routine errands. Not only is this activity important for your child's health, but it also deepens the roots of your child's growing brain. Our brains make new neural connections every time we move and play like this. So this is important work, both for your child's body and for your child's brain. Now if you're looking for a place to go play, you might want to consider going to your child's school's playground. You know, going there several times over the summer to go play, 1, is just fun, but 2, helps break down any nervous feelings about going to school, because school now becomes a slightly familiar place where I've had fun. So consider heading out to your child's school playground over the summer and having some fun times building some early school memories there. Tip number 4, developing your child's language skills. Now, language is the basis of all other learning, so it is vital to work on this area, and most likely you've been working on this for years already, you just don't realize it. Now when we're talking about language skills, we're not talking about being able to read simple books or being able to know 20 sight words or anything like that. That's kindergarten in some ways. No. Your child to develop language skills should be able to ask an adult for help, be able to tell a little story about what they did over the weekend, be able to sing the alphabet, be able to hear rhymes when they hear them in books, or if there's a familiar book like Green Eggs and Ham and you've read that book many times, your child should start filling in some of the rhymes. So you might be sitting there reading and saying, would you like them with a fox? Would you like them with a... and your kid kicks in with box as you say that. Your child should be able to listen to a story being read aloud by you or by others. Your child should be really great at using words to describe things. So being able to say that something is bigger than something else, or being able to describe an apple as red and hard or smooth. Just describing basic things in their life are all things you want your child to be able to do. And also being able to use positional words. So being able to say that the dog is under the table, or the chair is next to me. Left and right are a little bit harder, and I don't even know if I got it right here, but basic positional words, in front of, above, behind, next to, under, over, things like that, are all those types of language uses we want children who enter kindergarten to be really comfortable using. Now remember, these language skills don't develop because you downloaded the best app or because you gave them lots of worksheets already. This comes from reading books together, singing fun songs together, telling stories, just listening to stories about maybe your first days in kindergarten, and just hearing stories together, being together as a family, and just embracing language together. Okay, finally, tip number 5. You want to work on supportive cognitive skills that support those language skills we mentioned in tip 4. So what do we mean by supportive cognitive skills? Well, I'm going to give you a short list of those types of cognitive skills, and by no means does your child have to have this list mastered before they enter kindergarten. But kindergarten shouldn't be the first place they ever encounter any of these skills either. So, a couple of different things. Being able to orally count to 20, 1, 2, 3, 4, just orally, up to about 20, is a great skill for children to have. Just like we teach them to sing the alphabet, we're basically teaching them to sing numbers as well. You want to also start working on basic counting of objects. Now, counting is a huge kindergarten skill, so they're going to work on this, but simply telling your child, hey, help me set the table. Can you grab 3 forks and put them on the table? Now, there's a real reason to learn counting because you gave them a real important task at that moment, and they need to count. Or as you unpack groceries, being able to count out how many cans of tuna fish the family got, and counting them together and just having fun with it. Being able to name some basic shapes and the colors, the basic ones at least, and also being able to name some of the alphabet. Maybe your child can name all the alphabet, but at least some of the letters. And of course, being able to recognize their name in print, even if it's all in uppercase letters. And they might even start just being able to start writing their first name as well. Finally, being able to recognize patterns in the world around you, and also being able to follow basic one-step or maybe even two-step directions from an adult as well are really important things. And this would actually be now being able to complete it. Being able to say, I want you to put your shoes away in the closet and come back downstairs to the table. And your child being able to do that type of a direction following skill. So I hope you found that video helpful, and hopefully you also see that getting ready for kindergarten isn't as difficult as we might think. And in fact, it just takes being intentional with our parenting and raising of children. Remember, if you haven't done so already, to subscribe to this channel. Make sure to like this video and share it with your friends if you found it helpful. You can also follow us on social media as well. Oh, and remember, all the different products you saw in this video have links down below in the description that you can follow right through if you're interested in making any of those purchases. And remember, when you do make a purchase using those links, a portion of your purchase goes to support this channel and future videos just like this one. Okay, and here it is, the bonus tip. You ready for it? It's simply relax. Relax. Kindergarten's coming. Your child's ready for this. And you're ready for this too. Yeah, it's a big step for all of you, but it's a good one. And remember, your child's looking towards you for their social cues and their emotional cues. So if you're worried, if you're anxious, you're communicating that to your child too. Your child needs you to simply be relaxed and understand they're going to a loving, caring environment with loving, caring adults who want to help them. So help your child with that as well by just relaxing. Now, if you're worried a little bit about is your child really ready to start kindergarten, that's a slightly different question. And for that, you can check out a video we're in the process of making called Is My Child Really Ready for Kindergarten? And you can look in the future for a link to that video as well in the description. But if your worries are a little bit more the natural worries about are they going to be able to get on the bus the right way, or will they make friends, and those types of worries, relax. Enjoy the journey, and remember, it takes a big heart to grow little minds.